You are looking live at the Nasdaq, which was up today 44 points or 0.31% and closed at 14,229 or 230. If we round it out, the volume was pretty strong today, way above average volume, 35% above average daily volume. The Nasdaq, it's been up 5 weeks in a row and it's starting to act a little tired. You can see it's just forming this like shelf pattern. It was held up by its 10 EMA today. It closed 0.2% above the 10, but you can see on the weekly here, it's had a nice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's just starting to kind of flatten out here around that 14.2 mark, and it just cannot get above this 14,446. So it's a little stretch. It needs to pull back, and that's kind of what it's doing here. This looks pretty bullish to me here. This little wedging action at the 10. Yeah, like I said, it closed 0.2% above the 10. So Nasdaq looks pretty good. The problem with today's action is I know a lot of people got a hold of me on Twitter saying this tape is boring, this tape stinks, and because it was just the mega caps, the larger cap stocks that were doing well, and the breadth was pretty bad on the it was like more than 2-to-1 decliners to advancers, but the one day does not make a trend. The Russell, this has had a nice move off its bottom, 1633 that ran up, and then just today had an inside day. And when the 10-year is going down like this, I mean, this is a steep trend here, and it's at what the yield is 4.17. It was 5 not very long ago. So if this trend continues with the 10-year yield down, which I think it will, then I would expect the trend in the Russell to go the other way. And it's not going to go every day, but it's a trend, so it's trending higher as long as the yield's trending lower. I believe that correlation will continue to exist. So it was down today, 1.38%. But overall, the trend's intact and it looks pretty good. I want to go through some of the stocks today. Apple was up. It was one of the leaders driving the Nasdaq higher. You could see it bounced off its 10, kind of similar to the index without the bounce there. This has just got this bull wedge pattern back to the 10 and found support. And now it bounced higher, more than 2%. That looks pretty good. The MAGA, Mag 7 or whatever was up. The Magnificent 7 was up. All of them except for there's Microsoft. We talked about it yesterday, just hanging on to the 21 bounce today. It seemed like they sent a memo out to buy the Mag 7 stocks and left out Microsoft on the memo because this thing just stuck here at its 50. I would imagine that would bounce here pretty soon. Even Google, which is well below its 50 here, it bounced today more than 1%. Nice move. Tesla, kind of like the setup here in Tesla. I showed you yesterday. I was kind of pinching in, up 1.3% today. And NVDA had a nice move. I like it above 460, and it just bounced off its 50 today. And that one looks good as well. I'm going to get to some of the other stocks here, some of the larger stocks that are doing well. Palo Alto Networks bounced off its 10, very strong stock. That one looks good. CrowdStrike moved higher on earnings and just forming this little shelf here, but making higher highs here. So CrowdStrike looks good, and Zscaler just pull back to the 10. This one looks good as well. Okay, I'm going to move on to the I'm going to go to the drug stocks because Lilly was another big stock that bounced off its 50 today. That one looks pretty good. Novo Nordisk was downgraded today. There was the company that was bought. Roche bought a company, weight loss company, yesterday. We won't have a drug for years, but it's downgraded today on competition, which is almost laughable. I did see a report today that more than 11% of households are using the weight loss drugs, which is a extremely high number, I believe. Anyway, another company that has a weight loss drug is Viking Therapeutics. I believe they have, the best medicine here, and they will be coming to market probably in 2024. So this is definitely one to watch. At that 1636 level, blew right through it today. Now it's above its 200. That looks pretty good to me as it comes off its this bottoming type pattern. AMPH is another one that these guys have real earnings, real sales. They bought a drug from Lilly. Yeah, they bought a drug from Lilly, diabetes drug. And anyway, that one looks pretty good, AMPH. And I think that's all. Or I can show TGTX, this one, the multiple sclerosis drug. It looks pretty good. This one's going to keep coming back to the 10, I believe, though. That green line there. Is it just, it rises up, then it pulls back, and it rises up, then it pulls back, and it rises up. But the 10 is rising. So if you're just holding that stock, you're doing okay. As the 10, the 21 are rising. And now you can see the RS line going through the industry group moving average. So DGTX looks pretty good as well. Anyway, I'm going to move on to retail. I like the retail space. It's finally starting to get some love, but this is ELF, and it pulled back a little bit today, had an inside day. That looks good to me. I don't think this one's going to give you a lot of chances to get in. You can see this trending here. Ever since this high volume push here on this day, it's been trending higher. ELF looks good. SIG, Signet, it's a jewelry, Signet Jewelers, had a nice report today. Nice response, almost 6% move on the report. Apparel had a good report, had a really strange response. So it's a wild bar as it pulls down to its 21. I don't know. We'll see if it continues to trend higher. I kind of think it will. Chipotle Mexican Grill, another one. Gosh, I wish they would split. 2,226 today. Just trending along the 10, looking strong, doing well. BRBR is one we had on our watch list not too long ago, and it just keeps trending higher, and it's extended now. I wouldn't be buying it, but definitely a strong stock, making new highs. Costco crossed 600 today. I wouldn't mind if they split their stock as well, but getting extended now and pushing away from its base. That one looks, just Costco's a really strong stock. This is Shark Ninja. Definite pattern here of, finding support at moving averages, pulling back, finding support, pulling back, finding support for Shark Ninja. I got to get to the software names. A lot of software names, and I'm going to put GitLab in that group. And I didn't like the action today, to be honest. I know it was up 11% with 1,000% above average daily volume, which normally I kind of like that move, but just something in the action. It didn't feel like it was very strong. Closed at 63% of the day's range. Yeah, I'm going to monitor it, but I've seen better, and we saw better last week. But if you're long this stock, you could sell the spike, and it's congrats to the longs. You could just take profits and move on, or hold on for more gains if you think they're coming. Coinbase, this one's been on a roll, tied to Bitcoin, and Bitcoin's been real strong. So same with MicroStrategy, MSTR. This one was up 2.5%, making new highs, as Bitcoin is just really showing strength. KD, this was on our watch list not too long ago, but it's pushing away from its base now. Just pulled back to its 10 last week and blasted higher. That one looks good. VRNS, this one looks good as well. Just, you can't buy it. It's really extended, making new highs. So that one looks good. HashiCorp, I believe they report Thursday. Yeah, just coming off this bottoming pattern. Made a low there, and we'll see what they have to say on Thursday, but supposed to be profitable here coming up. So they should be talking about profits. I mentioned some of the stocks earlier that blasted off last week. ESTC is definitely the stronger of the three. It was up 4.63%, seems to go up every day. Samsara is the next strongest. It pulled back yesterday, but now up again today. Looks like it's ready to make new highs. In Path, I think it had double inside days. Yeah, so keep your eye on this one. at that 25 level. That one looks good as well. Anyway, let me see. I did the drugs, I did the retail, I did the software. Oh, home builders. Toll Brothers reported after the bell today. Nice report, up more than 2%. You can see this little shelf type pattern. A lot of these home builders look the same. Maybe today's report from Toll, which is, kind of semi-custom homes, and strong report could propel some of the other ones. MHO is residential home builder, luxury homes, kind of like Toll Brothers. This one is trading higher, just pulled back to the 10, made a new high today. That one looks pretty good. Pulte Homes, this one had a shelf type pattern blasted out of it last Friday. Slight pullback today. I mean, it was essentially flat on the session, but Pulte is looking good. And then Builder, this is one of the suppliers that, it's going into the S&P 500 on December 18th, and it was up nearly 5% today. So a nice move for Builder, still building its right side of its base. So those all look good. Let me see here. I'm going to go to, oh yeah, somebody asked me about this one sector. This Vertiv, they bought Cool Terra or Terra Cool. They bought a company yesterday, and the stock went up, which is kind of odd. It was just bouncing off its 10, looks like technical trading. Then today had an inside day. So definitely watch for Vert. I know it was POWL is the one they wanted to see, and this one has this cup with handle pattern, and it broke out yesterday, pulled back today, but they have earnings on Thursday. Really thinly traded stock, 100,000 shares a day. I try to stay away from stocks that are that thin, but I was asked to look at this stock, and yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with this. I mean, look at the appreciation this year. If you want to go to a comparison chart, up 227% just this year, so not bad, right? And I think if you go to the, if you do a comparison chart with the year, just for the year, yeah, Vert's up 230 just for 2023. A couple other names in this group. Wire is another one, and that's not doing quite as well, but we'll take 35%, and AZZ up 27%. So those stocks, yeah, this is POWL Industries. Looks good. I mean, it's up a lot this year. They have earnings, like I said, on Thursday, thinly traded, but it's got real strong earnings, sales growth. There's nothing wrong with the triple digit earnings growth and accelerating sales growth. So we'll see what they have to say on Thursday. Anyway, I believe that's it for me today, except for I have one more thing. After hours, we have a couple of and this is in the honor of the great Steve Jobs. Sentinel One reported well, the earnings are being well received regardless of what you may think of them. But it's up 15% after hours, so that's a nice move. MongoDB reported this afternoon, and looked like a good report to me, but it's down nearly 5% after hours. And the other one was Asana, Dustin Moskovitz. I think he's just going to completely buy out his entire stock here. It's down 10% after hours, so it doesn't look good for Asana for tomorrow. This thing continues. It looks like it gaps down after every earnings report. I've never seen this thing gap higher. But anyway, that's it for me today. Yeah, kind of a lackluster session today. After the JOLTS report, the investors seem to go conservative, back to those large liquid names. So we'll see if the rally can spread out going forward. And at mcstockcharts.com, we never give up.